Don't just say it. Actually question everything and be suspicious about what you're seeing on TV. Be suspicious. Don't say things that a defense attorney would say. Say things that the prosecuting attorney would say, and the government is on trial. The media is on trial.
But I think we got to stay out of space, man.
The space.
Yeah, we could go really.
Yeah, we can go real deep on space. But
do you think that there are aliens?
If you hashtag Project Bluebeam. If you study history and politics, especially in this country, you know that the New World Order is real. You know that
out of these troubled times, our fifth objective, a new world order.
I mean, George Singer talked about it all the time. He's like, now it's time for a new
era, freer from the threat of terror, stronger in the pursuit of justice, and more secure. And today that new world is struggling to be born. A world quite different from the one we've known. A world where the rule of law supplants the rule of the jungle. A world in which nations recognize the shared responsibility for freedom and justice.
Like a new world order this, a new world order that. And
a new world order. A world where the rule of law, not the law of the jungle, governs the conduct of nations.
It's all about fucking one government.
When we are successful, and we will be, we have a real chance at this new world order. An order in which a credible United Nations can use its peacekeeping role to fulfill the promise and vision of the UN's founders.
Ronald Reagan has said it at least 8 times. While George Singer, now he's vice president, now we have Ronald Reagan as the president, and all of a sudden he keeps talking about how
quickly our differences worldwide would vanish if we were facing an alien threat from outside this world.
In front of the UN. In front of the UN. Ronald Reagan. You could even find the Ronald Reagan Aliens United Nations speech. He talks and he says this over and over. He says, wouldn't all the differences in the world vanish if there was some sort of alien extraterrestrial threat and we would all
band
come
together.
That's what they want. That would be the quickest way.
To bring that threat and make us think that.
But we would have no rights if we had a one world government. We would be in a police state. That's what's going on. Total control. It's a long story. And there's a guy, a whistleblower who used to be in U.S. Naval Intelligence. His name is William Cooper. He wrote a book called Behold the Pale Horse. And this guy had access to all these documents because his job was to prepare these meetings for high-level military officers, and he decided to whistleblow, and they killed him. But before they killed him, he had like this low-level pirate radio thing where he's dropping all this info. I used to be really, really into UFOs. I got a UFO, I got an alien tattooed on my arm. We thought, look, there's all this evidence that the government's trying to cover up alien. And then I would listen, people say, you got to listen to William Cooper, man. He wrote that book, Behold the Pale Horse. And I looked into him a little bit, and he was saying that the UFOs aren't real. It's really just government craft, and the government's fucking with us. So I never really gave him a chance. And then 10 years later, I figured it out on my own. I'm like, wait a minute. He used to be all full-blown into UFOs too. He thought it was real because he saw all the documents.
One of these projects was called Project Red Light. The purpose, according to this document, was to back engineer captured extraterrestrial technology for adaptation into the United States space program.
And the cover-ups and the projects and where, like, government agencies investigating UFOs.
Now, I have since come to believe that the extraterrestrial portion of all of this is nonsense, but that the technology is real.
The hoax was, let's pretend that we're covering up UFOs so that people will believe in it.
This was a powerful suggestion to implant into the minds of the people of the world that there really is a threat from some other species, from some other planet to this Earth.
I occasionally think how quickly our differences worldwide would vanish if we were facing an alien threat from outside this world.
Long-term reverse psychology.
That, when you study Jesuits and you study the secret societies, all their
surprised.
plans are long term. They're
Right.
all long term plans, and they go from
Well, it's
generation
any
to
good business
generation.
owner, any good business runner, you're thinking
Yeah.
2 or 3 things ahead. You start to think, okay, yeah, I can hire this person or let this person go today or do this or that. But I'm thinking 2 or 3 moves ahead now.
These things were planned many, many years ago. All the bombardment of the public with movies about flying saucers in the 50s, right after the United Nations Treaty was signed and the UN Participation Act was pushed through Congress, and all of the incidents since that have convinced the majority of the American people that flying saucers are real and extraterrestrials exist, and that flying saucers are from an extraterrestrial origin. This is being promulgated in many ways, by television commercials, in the movies, in the newspapers, by creating incidents either real or imagined. I believe, because of my research and because of the extensive documentation that I've found and that is in my book, that this whole scenario has been created to give us an artificial alien threat from outer space.
These politicians, they're all like buddies, it seems like, behind the scenes. I don't know. I just don't. I think it, like you say, it's a great time to think for yourself. No matter what side of any fence you're on, anything, it could be religion. I find right now is a great time where a lot of people are asking themselves, man, I grew up just trusting everything, and now I'm realizing, no, I can't just trust everything, because the people that are running things are people. And just like me, they are compromisable. They could be
Corruptible?
They're corruptible. Yes, we're fucking broken people. We're made. We. No one has ever been fucking perfect. And 9 out of 10 times when you get to levels of power, your ego is so infected